Okay, today is me consulting my science blog that I did. It's Ryan Taylor Stites at blogspot.com. Ryan Taylor Stites at blogspot.com. So I'm just going to kind of read from that because somebody's sleeping right over there. It's 3 p.m. during the day. But when you're quarantining, there's not a heck of a lot to do. You find yourself taking naps. I haven't taken one yet, but I do frequently take naps. Anyways, getting down to it, continuing on. And what am I reading here? The title is Human Beings. That's us. Now, human beings are capable of great evil, and we absolutely cannot handle power. So this is me continuing with that. I think I'm going to read from this because it's good. Most of us will murder without remorse, okay, and abandon any sense of law or duty if an outside power doesn't censor our behavior. Basically, it means the only thing that's stopping us from killing people is consequences. And it's shown to be true. 1,000 examples. I could spend hours and days giving them. Now, you may ask yourself, I wouldn't do that. I'm not a murderer. Yeah, okay, you right there are not. But again, the spectrum of human behavior, you're probably in the top 10% of human beings for being non-selfish and being pure of heart. So you probably wouldn't kill unless there's really, legitimate circumstances for it, okay? But there's still the other 90 who would, okay? And the further down you slide, the less it takes to kill people. For example, Putin. He's a dictator basically in Russia, and he kills his enemies. So he's murdered hundreds of people, okay? But he doesn't go around killing people. He's not an angry guy. He's just probably on the bottom 20% of the spectrum, which basically means he's just an egotistical dick, which is a lot of us. So that means if you take an egotistical dick and make him the leader of a country, he will murder all his critics. We, as a human race, are murderers. There's people, I've told people this, my friends, and they get in this debate, well, that's a pretty pessimistic view of human nature. First off, it's accurate. And secondly, I don't know, that's just who we are. You can get beyond that and realize that you can have compassion for people who are evil because they had no choice. I mean, you're given this brain. This brain tells you what to do from the moment you're born to the moment you die. You didn't choose it. If you're a POS, you were born that way. And then the argument, well, I didn't do it, so I'm going to PS. Yeah, you were given this brain. You didn't choose it. Don't feel better about it. And the compassion part means just to realize that a tiger is going to attack. And human beings, a lot of us are tigers, and they will kill for any reason whatsoever. Anyways, so I do get into this. So the next sentence is, does this make us evil? I would argue no. So I guess I just continue the argument I said. It's just like a tiger. Wow. I guess I use the same metaphors. No, simile. Anywho. A tiger isn't evil for acting like a tiger. Human beings aren't evil for acting like humans. It's a basic sentence that encapsulates all of it, even though, people would talk to it. The best of us are motivated to do well, to do good. The worst of us are motivated by self-interest. And we all fall in some part of the spectrum. That's who we are. That's really the only personality trait that matters. The rest is just noise. It's just different sides of the same coin. Let's see. We differ in our expressions of self-interest. Now, when I say self-interest, I mean horrifying crimes, okay? Because sexual gratification is a self-interest, meaning bad people will rape, okay? Financial gain is a self-interest, meaning bad people will kill people for money, all right? And then enjoyment is a self-interest, and the really bad will kill people for the sure, unadulterated fun of it. Let's see. So yeah, self-interest, be it rape, swindling, bullying, racism, or whatever. Again, bullying and racism, to me, and it's been proven in my life, are the same side of the coin as all the horrific stuff. You just don't get the opportunity to do it because You're not a dictator. You will go to jail if you hate crime somebody, but you enjoy just picking apart other people. That's the same thing. You're on this part of the spectrum. Okay, so if you grew up poor and didn't have any opportunities, you were downtrodden, and you might turn to a life of crime, and then you'd be the type of person who just blows somebody away in a robbery because you know, wanted to or whatever. The person's still sleeping. Now, it's most natural of us to hate people unlike ourselves, and we all do it in varying degrees. Here we go. Another good point. I'm sorry, but this is true. Almost all of us are racist. I live in a world. I only choose people in my life who aren't racist or discriminatory in one way. I get rid of 90% of my friendships because they express these beliefs. But 90% of people will have one group that they just hate. They just hate their existence. Yeah. So, and it's weird. We're all philosophers when it comes to the big picture. It's the same reason why people who are let's see, I'll pick who I haven't talked about. Anti-gay. Okay, so let's say you're anti-gay. You on the streets, like, yeah, it's not against my religion. I just, support. These are the people who, won't really object in bad situations like war. When they start getting thrown in ovens and stuff like that. I don't like that statement. I might edit that out. It's a little too inflammatory, though true, but not true of all. Because there's many millions of Christians who don't believe it is against their religion, so they actually don't do it. Though lots of the people, I'm not sure what percentage, just hide behind that. Let's see. Okay, so moving on, I go, we cannot change our natures. Again, I discussed this. We can't. It's just, you can't change who you are. And if you could change who you are, it wouldn't be who you are. That's the thing. Like, that it's self-evident that we cannot change our natures because our natures are our natures. And if they weren't our natures, they wouldn't be our natures. And if we changed our natures, then we'd be in our nature to change our natures. And then the flip side is, what does that mean? You just let people do it? No. You punish people when they commit crimes, same as before, but you just realize that they had no choice. There's no choice in the matter. Well, they chose to rob a store while I worked. Yeah, they were given a computer, their brain, that told them that the best decision in their life was to rob that store. They didn't choose that brain. I can't explain it any better. It's just, I don't know. It's logically sound to me, but people just, and then they go off random tangents, and I don't want to argue with my friends, so I just kind of drop it. But anyways, wow. 8 minutes, and I am a 10th into this. This is me just appealing to a new philosophy, and I guess I explained it. Once we can see how we really are, we can learn immensely from this, including picking better mates and friends. It's my hope that the poopiness, but I didn't write that, of a person is a heritable trait, because if it isn't, then we're a species doomed to extinction because we have weapons capable of wiping ourselves out in the push of a button. So that's a little bit of philosophy, just saying that, yeah, I mean, who is being horrible a genetic trait? I mean, I would argue that it's kind of not, where there's a weak correlation. I mean, yeah, I've just noticed that you would think that bad people, if a bad person and a bad person, mate, their kid's gonna be a horrible person. I've been watching for years, and I kind of don't agree with that a lot. I think it's a very weak, not as strong. And evolution, it makes sense. If you have two bad people and they produce that, then that person would just be the worst human being ever, incapable of getting along with anybody, and they couldn't reproduce in an evolutionary sense, which is something that I'm also think about. So yeah, but it's also horrifying to know that if you're a good person, you're gonna have a bad offspring, which would be terrifying for me, because I believe that, again, I can see people's nature, and that would be awful if I could see that my children were not good people. It's a bridge I'm gonna have to cross when I get there. Knock wood. Okay, so doomed to extinction. Yeah, I mean, eventually somebody's gonna push that button if we have a button, but that's not that interesting to me. I don't know, but you can debate that if you want. So anyway, self-love and an overinflated sense of self-worth. okay, is another crucial part of who we are as people. And we need to understand this way better and also be way better for humanity. Every single person with an overinflated ego is bad. It's evident everywhere. If you take pride in something, like, you've had that friend, okay? You're at this end of the spectrum. People who just really think they're awesome, you know, like, I'm not going to name names of famous people or political people who do it because I don't want to make enemies just yet. So yeah, just think of somebody who they think they're here, but they consistently think they're here, okay? And they really have no way of doing it. And whenever you try to tell them, no, look, here's the truth. You did this, and this, and then you're here. And it doesn't matter. They're in their mind. They're there. You can't say anything about it, and that's that. Those are bad people. Those are the type of people who abuse their power. They just don't have as much conscience, if you will. So anyways, yeah, it's very clear in my mind, and it's very uncomfortable to have so many big beliefs no one else in the world does. Yes, it is. I need glasses. Maybe I should put them on to read. I don't know. All right. We are not good. We are basically the products of our environment. Give us the same set of circumstances, and again, we will gladly be throwing people in ovens just like Nazi Germany. We are absolutely no better than them. I could send an essay on this. This is an entire topic. We absolutely are the same, and I think I can kind of prove this. We're the same. People were like, oh, they were evil back in Nazi Germany. No, they were people back in Nazi Germany. I could give hundreds of examples, or thousands if I just went into in humanity, where the vast amount of power difference, vast abuse, it's ironclad. Every single time. It's a perfect correlation. Power, abuse, more power, more abuse. Yeah, I mean, what was the one in Belgium? I think it's King Leopold or whatever. He basically enslaved an entire country for profit, and he had his people kill other people, but he didn't even have to order it to do it. There just happened to be a system. He was thousands of miles away. There just happened to be a system where they wouldn't get punished for killing people, and they had financial gain. That was enough. That was enough for genocide to get a little bit more money. Anyways, so I could go on and on about that and other examples like it. Okay, so yeah, my next sentence is, we are natural racists. You may not be, you are in the minority. The majority of men dislike homosexual men. That's true. I don't know. I've found that less women, on average, have animosity, anger, and hatred and disgust towards gay men. I don't know. I've lived and breathed. I think I stand by that statement. On average, not everybody, just a higher percentage. A lot to the point of disgust, and some to the point of wishing harm upon them. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If our society allows abuse of something, then it will be a problem in that society, as a certain percentage of us will take advantage of that situation. Example given: women aren't protected in some countries, and in those countries they get abused. It's horrifying. I don't mean to make a glib or laughing about it, but it's just horrifying that we don't realize this. Some men will beat the crap out of their wives in the country because of their natural self to do so. Again, it's true. You can look at these countries. We cannot stop ourselves. Law stops ourselves. Other people stop ourselves. If you get this amount of people, there's going to be that percentage who will abuse it, whatever it is. Okay, it is in our nature to blame the victim when we do something awful. We are absolutely incapable of governing ourselves. Again, some of us are, but on average, we're not. I got to get through this because this is 14 minutes already. Abuse can be very predictably found. This is great news if we start to understand this. Yeah, okay, so this is where I go on and say that. So if we can understand that in general, in literally every situation where abuse can take place, if you have enough people, it will take place. Law. This means we can preempt abuse and really save a lot of people from being victims. I often wonder if being racist, sexist, or I'm sorry to say religious, I'm going to get in trouble for this, and stuff like this is related to intelligence. This is 4 years ago, and I've come to the conclusion, it doesn't.
It doesn't. There's tons of smart people who are religious just because I don't believe in God. I'm glad you do. I wish I had your faith. I think religion can be a beautiful thing. It usually is, and there's billions of wonderful people practicing religion. And what was I getting to here? Excuse me. Yeah, racist and sexist as being dumber. No, there's tons of smart racists, and there's tons of smart sexists. It's just, I don't know. I've come to the conclusion it's not related, or if it is, it's very weak. It'd be easy to reduce them to that, these people, but you can't. I mean, they function, they have great jobs. There's just no. Okay, so basically, all right. I don't know for sure. This is getting back to what I don't know for sure, but I personally think the smarter someone is, the less likely they are to think negative, wrong things. I could be biased, all right, because logically in science and stuff like that. But again, you can be smart and still believe in the supernatural. You can, and other things, and frequently this happens. So I've amended that, though I haven't concluded. Anywho. Yeah, so it is very easy to tell a good person from a bad person once you know what to look for. And I think this is extraordinarily valuable information. It entirely is. You don't ever have to have a bad wife. You don't ever have to have your wife cheat on you or your husband cheat on you or get picked with a selfish person who's going to leave you when the chips go down. You can be with someone who is wonderful and appreciates you for just who you are if you know what to look for, and I do. I don't know. It's incredibly valuable information. Can't stress this enough. That's what I wrote. It takes a while to figure someone out, but it's so much worth the effort. Basically, yeah, a lot of times people say, well, I'm a good judge of character. They make snap judgments. You cannot do that. You just have to compile a dossier of things that they did, and then eventually you can compile it and put your stamp on it. That's how it's done. This basically is what my book is about. I did write a book. I don't know where it is right now. I should probably dig it out. But Corona McBona, I can't get back to my country, and I won't be there for a while. I guess I could go back, but I would have to leave my wife, and she's my only family, and I don't want to do that, so it's going to be a while before we can get over there. I think we'll take each topic here and prove it as conclusively and independently as I can. Man, I am only not even half. Whoa. No. This little? Hold on. Human beings, one paragraph. Yeah, I'm a third of the way in, so I'm going to have to break right now. Pick it up tomorrow.